Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people. Not be small tension, no. Serious tension as Peter Obi, tells his people, Labour Party, occupy. Again, I say what? Occupy Inec office nationwide. No going back on the planned protest. Now, there is a reason why this is happening. In case you are not aware, there are reasons, with regards to INEC refusing, despite the fact that the court granted Peter Obi the opportunity to be able to inspect the Beavers machine. INEC has refused, saying that there's going to be a backlash. It may result to chaos in the country, and that they have sensitive materials that in Peter Obi trying to investigate and check those things may be exposed. And that is what is not the election particular that they are afraid of. So that may lead to an uproar in the country and might lead to problem and they are unhappy, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, my people, now waiting they happen. So serious tension now the country. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Occupy INEC office nationwide. Labour Party says no going back on planned protests. Sahara Reporters has reported that the presidential and National Assembly election were marred with irregularities, such as late arrival of electoral materials, voters suppression, thuggery, manipulation of election results, among others. The Peter Obi Dante Presidential Campaign Council has vowed that its supporters will not back down on their planned nationwide protests unless the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, grants the Labour Party lawyers access to the materials from the most contentious February 25th presidential election. Sahara Reporters has reported that the presidential and National Assembly election was met with a lot of irregularities, and the electoral materials, voters suppression, and a lot of things that went on. Above all, the electoral branches, the electoral unpaired branches, its guideline and regulations for elections and provisions of Electoral Act 2022, Nigerian Constitution. Since the February 25th election, criticisms have continued to trail the conduct of the polls following the accusations that both the Labour Party and the People Democratic Party (PDP) that the presidential candidates have approached the court to inspect all electoral materials used during the polls. The Courts of Appeal granted Labour Party the request for inspection for the electoral materials, but the Nigerian electoral group has refused to grant the party the access to the same materials that the court have said they should have access to. It has been reported that last week, the appeal court granted INEC an injunction to reconfigure the Bermuda Voters Accreditation System machine ahead of March 18 governorship and state assembly election. However, the chief spokesman for Peter Obi Campaign Council, Yanasa Tanko, in an interview with Punch, vowed that there would be no going back on mobilization of their supporters to occupy all INEC offices nationwide. Tanko accused INEC of disobeying the order of the court of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to grant Peter Obi the access to the certificate true copy of materials used in the conduct of the election. We didn't fix a date for the protest. We haven't fixed a date for the protest because we deliberately wanted to give INEC up till Monday to respond to us first. They have continued to reject this. So this is what is happening right about now. Peter Obi party is looking at having a nationwide protest, and they've told the people, go ahead, prepare to occupy all INEC office because INEC is doing things that are not right, that cannot be accepted. INEC is doing things that nobody should consider, to be right at all. How can INEC in any way be taking what belongs to the people? Why should they do anything of such? Why? INEC, they went to court. Court said, no, give them access to it. INEC said, no, they must not have access to it. Excuse me. Who does that? Who does that? Apart from Nigeria, where things are done, they do things haphazardly, anyhow, and they go about doing things as if it is up to them to determine what happens to the people. So these are very, very difficult times, if you ask me. And Peter Obi has said, we go to court. We go to court. This is where we go. We go to court, and we go to, get the very truth, or, on some of these issues. The people, all the matters and issues that are going on, we're not going to allow it happen. We're not going to allow some persons come in and begin to, take over that which belongs to us. We just need to begin to advance as a nation, as a people, and ensure that we do not allow the same thing over and over again. There is urgent need for us all to arise, okay, and do not allow the same thing. Why will courts grant somebody access? But the INEC said when they granted the person, they did not say anything. No, they come back to say, please, you cannot access it. If you access it, you may lead to problem in the country. What problem exactly are you talking about? They said there are some materials that they may not want, to be in public domain, as it is confidential. But in granting them the access to check on these materials, these election materials, may put those items or those materials in jeopardy. And at the end of the day, there may be problem, going forward, there may be problem. So these are some of the things that are happening. And Nigerians, you can see for yourself that it is honestly a sincere call for every single person to understand that, Nigerians, it is time to begin to rise up and do not allow the same thing over and over again. Remember that it's up to you and I. It's up to you and I to ensure that we do not allow people who have no iota of concern for leadership to get into the position of leadership. If we allow them, we will live with the consequences of the decisions we have made. Yes? We will live with that consequences. So please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe, click on the notification button so you can have all our latest news. Remember, it's up to you and I to ensure that we do not allow the same thing over and over again. Nigerians, the ball is in our court. What are we doing to ensure that we are not pushed aside? God bless. Have a good day. Bye for now.